Coming off the heels of a terrible DLC case, this is part 6, The Fallen Idol.
This one's going to be better, right?
It better be. It better be.
All right. My God, you're right. It is The Fallen Idol.
That was a good music cue. I like the way it just stopped abruptly.
Yeah.
Spakowski, you have a new case. 2 women. Possible drink drive.
How is that a case?
The broad says she was doped and that somebody tried to kill her.
Where did this take place?
That's the bit you're gonna love. Right across the street.
What?
A Chevy Styline took a nosedive off the escarpment, fetched up underneath a Cola King billboard. Up to it, boys. We got bad guys to catch.
I'd like you to move your right arm in a circular motion a few more times, please. I don't understand this case yet.
See you later, fellas. Try not to work too hard.
Here we are, trying to fit in.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to fit in.
Oh, there you go.
So that was a much better opening cutscene, I think. I don't know. We'll have to see whether it had any misleading camera angles or stuff. Guessing
I'm realizing I should always walk out of the office rather than running, because my partner will never run, and the dialogue, you miss out on parts of it.
Yeah, though at least the subtitles kept up.
Yep.
So I'm guessing that they were not meant to hit the billboard, because it looked like a pretty steep drop-off after that.
Yeah, it's true.
I recognize that guy.
This does seem to be much more obviously a traffic case, though.
Yeah, yeah. This was one of my favorites from the traffic desk, so I think you'll like this one.
Cool. I see we've broken it into 2 halves.
Yeah, it was a little bit on the long side, so now it'll be a little bit on the short side, twice. We're saving the environment by not taking our car.
Very much, yes.
That was important back then.
Her face looks familiar. Well, that's June Ballard, Tarzan's sister, Beast of the Amazon. She's married to Guy McAfee. The captain has moved to Vegas now, but the 2 of them still have juice. Phelps, traffic.
Detective Phelps. Hey, Bukowski. Long time no see.
You could have called this in by megaphone, Enrique. Phelps, this is Enrique Gonzalez. Enrique was a pretty decent middleweight. What do we have, Gonzalez?
Broad drives right through the empty lot and off the side of the escarpment. Her story is that a movie producer doped her and her friend and sent the car over the cliff.
Was anyone hurt?
Driver's beat up. Not too bad considering. If she hadn't hit that billboard, we'd be scraping both of them off the pavement. Passenger's at Jessica Hamilton. She's just a kid. She's pretty knocked around.
Kid gonna be all right?
I think so. They've taken her to central receiving. If you want to take a look around, stall the ambulance.
Thanks. Do that.
One more thing. Watch out for the driver. She cuts rough.
I really liked the musical cue when it hand over your shoulders over the cliff.
If you're looking for the coroner, he's down by the crash site.
I think to properly investigate this, you should drive a car off the cliff in the same trajectory yourself. See whether it's something you could have done deliberately.
Mrs. McAfee, we would like to ask you a few questions, if that's okay.
I prefer to use my maiden name, June Ballard.
Her face is so
You
creepy.
might be familiar with some of my work.
Can you tell us what happened here?
You're kind of cute for a cop. Maybe a bit on the serious side.
What about me, June? I'm a big fan of
You?
Beast of...
I don't like. Keep out of this.
We understand that you're still suffering from the effects of the accident, Mrs. McAfee. The officer says that you claimed that you were drugged. But who did this to you?
That rat slipped us a Mickey Finn. It's no wonder I feel so dopey. I can't remember.
Her skin is
It's
orange.
a serious offense to withhold information from the police during a criminal investigation, madam.
I told you to call me June. You're making me feel like an old lady. And don't bother your handsome head about this. My husband will settle the score with Mark Bishop.
You mentioned a Mark Bishop. You think he might have had something to do with this?
He is a movie producer. As for his involvement, you just leave it to me and my husband to worry about.
You're not very familiar with the concept of police, are you, ma'am?
I want to know what happened between you two that made him want to commit a double murder.
Bishop offered me a part in his picture. Then he withdrew it. Fact is, we had a deal. I pressed him on it, and this is where I end up.
Is this our first case involving Hollywood? I think it might be.
Yes, it is.
Phelps. We need to get our bearings.
Though there was the
Let's go see
aspiring
the coroner.
actress from the Midwest in the Marriage Made in Heaven.
What more can I tell you, detective? Try the coroner. Just down the hill.
Just jump it. You'll be fine. Hey,
Here I am contemplating just that.
what is that guy looking at exactly? Like a really interesting twig? He's on
He's in a moment of quiet contemplation.
Yeah, nowhere near
He's
the
thinking
actual...
about death.
How bad is it? Come on, you can tell me.
Who's that?
I think that's just a bystander who must have gotten it. Oh no, that's a tow truck driver. That must be the
Oh, okay.
He's wearing that jumpsuit. I'm having a lot of trouble figuring out how to get down there.
Jump! Just jump it. You'll be fine.
This
Policemen
ain't the
can't
red
die.
carpet, so get out of my lens.
Push
That cameraman
push
hates
your
us.
partner off first, see if he survives. And you think this wasn't recorded live or something.
You can't control me.
Barely. I'm surprised we didn't get a snarky comment from Bukowski about the actress's insult.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. That was... Her face was orange. That was really weird looking. Like, that was the most unnatural looking face we've seen in this game so far.
You'll want to see this, Phelps. There, laid out on the trunk. And that isn't even the best part.
I love the music in this case.
They've been torn off. Where did you find them?
They were stuffed in the young lady's handbag. I'll run a trace for semen when I get back to the lab.
She's a long way from home.
You see how the Aunt Junie part is in a slightly different color, almost as if it looks like an accident, but it actually draws your attention to that one important line if that's the only line that you read.
Yeah,
Kind of clever.
it just looked faded, but yes, you're right. Huh. What was the other thing in the purse? Just a texture?
Not relevant, yeah.
Okay. Sorry I'm being quiet, just we're still in the sort of intaking facts part of the...
No, it's important. I'll figure this out.
Looks like they're lucky they weren't more badly injured.
You should scan the barcode on that
Must have been
Chevrolet.
unconscious. Being relaxed tends to lessen the soft tissue damage.
I don't really know too much, detective. Maybe ask the coroner.
Okay, is this in fact the same music that they play during every investigation sequence? Because I'm finding
I think it is, yeah.
Huh. I'm just finding
But
it
it's-
more effective this time than usual, I guess.
Drunk driver?
Maybe not.
How so?
Well, a head I found without a body piqued my interest. See what you think.
Alas, poor Yorick, I knew him, Horatio.
What?
Is it real?
No. I think it's supposed to be a replica of an Indian shrunken head. It's some kind of curio or movie prop. See the casting marks?
What's it made from?
Plaster of Paris would be my first guess, then painted.
So we can rule out the murder angle?
No, you can rule that in. That thing was wedging the accelerator to the floor. Whoever did it wanted these women dead.
So again, how does this stay in traffic if we already know it was attempted homicide?
We should speak to Ballard again. She might not be telling us the whole story.
Suspended disbelief.
Sure, alright. Sorry, that was actually a good character moment of unexpected Cole trying to be witty, and also that he failed utterly at it. I was not expecting the attempt.
What can you tell us about the passenger in your car?
Jessica Hamilton. Poor Jessica. It's been a rough day for her. She's desperate to break into movies. What more can I say?
How old is Jessica, Mrs.
Was that
Ballard?
wrong?
I couldn't say how old Jessica is. Old enough, sweetheart, as the saying goes.
What were you supposed to do there?
We found a shrunken head.
I guess maybe it was
It
true.
was used to tamper with your car.
Huh.
You see, I normally don't drive off cliffs. The last thing I remember is getting behind the wheel.
She's so intent on acting that everything
It's
she
obviously
says
some
sounds
kind of
like
movie
a lie.
prop. You must know where it came from.
In case you hadn't noticed, I am the talent. And the talent doesn't deal with props or sets or any of that kind of stuff. Why don't you ask Mark Bishop which prop house he uses?
Mrs. McAfee, I think it would be in everyone's best interest if you accompanied Patrolman Gonzalez back to the receiving hospital.
I'm going to be okay. These guys can take me home after. My lawyer and I have talked to the news house.
Mrs. McAfee, you are still under the influence of narcotics, and you're likely to go into shock once the drugs wear off.
And I thought you were a heel. It's nice of you to be concerned.
I think we're good here. Let's go see what we can shake out of the kid.
Remember Dave Barry wrote at one point about how he was in an ill-fated TV show, and everyone else kept referring to him as the talent in a way that is clearly synonymous with the idiot. Oh, Jesus.
11K Roger, en route.
It's a good thing that those boards were so sturdy. You know,
Oh, here we go. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na.
What we really should be doing, instead of just the, Widow's yelled at counter, is doing a cumulative total of property damage according to the end of case screens.
Yeah, that would be good.
I may go back retroactively and tabulate that.
And then you should adjust it for inflation. $2011.
Hello, Detective Phelps, here to interview a Jessica Hamilton.
Jessica Hamilton. Oh, yes. She's in the room, right behind you, Detective.
That was a fascinating delivery.
You can't hold me here. No, I don't need to be met.
Feeling better since this morning, Jessica?
My lawyer.
A little. My head still feels funny.
Do you know who I am?
What are we hearing?
I think June Ballard must be next door.
Oh, okay.
Probably nothing.
I don't even know what it is, so yeah, I'm in agreement.
This doesn't pertain to the case.
This isn't a crime scene, Cole. You're in the police office.
The music would indicate otherwise.
Is this going to tie into that psychiatrist who's been doping all the...
I don't know. I think they just want me to pull up the
Oh,
chart.
okay. Age 15.
Evidence of criminal abuse.
Wow, her pulse has been dropping quite a bit. Yep, that's all they
Making me
wanted.
uncomfortable. Just standing around here looking at me, not saying anything.
Hello, Jessica. My name is Cole Phelps. I'm a policeman. I'd like to talk to you about your accident, if that's okay.
Okay.
Can you tell me what you remember about the crash?
It's all kind of fuzzy. I remember waking up here. Nothing happened yesterday.
Nothing happened. Something clearly did.
Yeah, I think any piece of evidence would indicate that something happened.
Tell the truth, Jessica. Why the big cover-up?
I'm not lying to you.
We found your underwear in your handbag, Jessica. You need to tell us what happened.
The doctor told me what happened. I didn't want that. I just wanted to be a star, to be in movies. I told Junie what happened, and she told me to toughen up. That was the price of stardom.
Did she now, cold-hearted bitch?
It's not Junie's fault. It's not my first time. I had a boyfriend back home, but my father found out about him.
Even if you consented, Jessica, you're still underage. We need to get in touch with your parents, Jessica, to tell them what has happened.
Oh, you don't need to worry them. They sent me along to stay with Aunt June. They trust her to take care of me.
You're lying, Jessica. How are we going to make this right if you lie to us?
Please, Detective, why would I lie to you?
I don't know.
Because you're a runaway, Jessica, and you don't have your parents' permission to be here. Now, do you want to tell me what really happened?
I went with Junie to this strange place. It's difficult to remember. Someone gave me a drink to calm my nerves, and then I felt faint. I think I must have passed out.
My only problem here is her face isn't reading as teenage.
How did you meet Mr. Bishop?
Well,
Too young
Junie
or
is
too
a
old?
big
Too
movie
old.
star. You probably know that. She's doing a new movie.
The voice is great, but the face just looks too old.
What do you know about Bishop?
He makes movies.
That's
I had
probably
to do a screen test.
a doubt.
That's when you say some lines in front of the camera with the lights turned on you.
I know what happened to you, Jessica. Where exactly did it take place?
Please, it's scary. It's really difficult to think of anything.
Someone tried to kill you, Jessica. Do you get it? Forget about being in movies. It's time to act like a grown-up.
I had to wear a robe and lay down on a stone. There were lights, camera.
What?
It's not my fault. I'm not a bad girl. Why are you trying to hurt me?
What?
Thank you, Jessica. You've been a big help.
What?
Here's my card.
Presume-
If you think of anything or you need some help, just get in touch, okay?
Okay.
So,
Yeah, I probably would have
I think
gotten
it might be
more
a good
if I
idea
had guessed
you went
it
back home
correctly.
till you felt better, Jessica.
I couldn't do that, officer. What if I got the part and I wasn't there?
so clearly that last question she was lying on.
Tale of this town, Cole. Lambs that go willingly to slaughter. Who the hell is that?
Must be her lawyer. He certainly expedited her release.
I don't like it, Cole. Why is she in such a hurry? We should follow her.
Whoa! And then suddenly music. Subtle, Cole.
There she goes. Come on.
Our first tailing mission.
All right. So, that was interesting, because
Ballard is definitely up to something.
Hey, a Nixon banner.
Nixon.
Yeah. Of course, just Nixon is running for something doesn't really state the game any time more precisely than a 20-year window. Okay, so what we're meant to think so far is that June Ballard? Jesse Ballard? I don't remember which is which.
June Ballard, yeah.
Jane Ballard. Is involved in a ring to lure young girls, come into Hollywood to make it big, and like get them into possibly just prostitution. We don't know the details yet. And something went wrong between her and her contact, so her contact tried to knock them both off.
Get in there and see what she's up to.
We don't have any actual evidence to support this yet, but that's definitely where we're meant to be lead words. That what I meant to think of game. Cole, you're like Batman. They can barely see you. You are the shadows. Go incognito.
Baby? No! I don't want him taught a lesson. You know what I want. Well, then make someone else do it! You still know people out here, don't you? Then make some calls!
Sounds like she's ordering a hit.
No, it sounds like she...
I'm going to be very clear about this. You get this done, or I'm... Wilson's Hotel. Mr. Mark Bishop, that son of a bitch, lives in apartment 803.
Oh, okay, maybe you're right.
Sure, I got the film.
Well, actually, I don't know. My assumption was it sounds like she's deciding not to take explicit revenge, order a hit or anything, but to set the guy up for blackmail.
Oh, interesting.
Like, it sounds like she was shouting down someone's vindictive first reaction of hit him
So
back.
what's the story? I'm guessing she didn't stop for light refreshments.
She made a call. Sounds like Mark Bishop has a heap of trouble headed his way. I've got an address. Wilson's Hotel, apartment 803.
Oh shit, you better step on it.
If he's got any sense, he'll be as far away from home as possible.
If you had any sense, you wouldn't have tried bumping off Guy McCaffrey's wife in the first place. Or you'd done the job properly. McCaffrey will break a fella's legs just for looking at the girl.
That must have been McCaffrey on the phone.
kid?
She said you still have her stories here.
I think she was doped out of her tiny mind to get in the casting couch. That fucking bitch Ballard sold her out.
True story.
So if Ballard was doing someone a favor, why did they try to kill her?
Oh my god. That's like one of the best set series of driving. I can't talk today, I'm sorry. This is some of the best driving we've done thus far.
Thank you.
Now, I really wish I had said that right before we crashed into something, but whoa! You didn't even hit the lamppost.
I know, man. I'm on a roll. I've been learning stuff on this traffic
Get to the apartment before someone gets hurt.
Check that out.
Yeah! You were using some sort of bot here, right?
Auto drive hack. Wow, that was a good stretch of driving.
Yeah, that was...
Better get a Valorous on this.
Yeah, that was almost...
The cops? I tried to stop them. It's room 803, left out of the elevator.
Okay, maybe she was just having him... Everyone else but me, including you, is reacting as though she was having him killed, so... What do I know?
Sounds like we're about to make it a hat trick of hysterical female witnesses.
Oh, come on. The teenage girl wasn't hysterical, you asshole.
LAPD! I'm about to...
Oh, you knocked his hat off. Does that mean he loses?
I don't know.
I grapple.
It means he knows that he lost.
Aww. And you were doing so well.
Almost.
Oh, everyone lost their hat. It's just a big bareheaded party over here. Well, that was completely unnecessary.
Sometimes it's nice to vary the pacing of the game a little bit with action sequences interspersed with detective work.
Okay.
Are you injured, Mrs. Bishop?
I'm all right now.
Oh my
Horrible,
God, that is
awful
some hair.
man.
Perhaps you should sit down, ma'am.
Yes, yes. Forgive me, officers. I'm very flushed. I'll just sit down for a moment.
That's perfectly normal, ma'am. Take a moment while we look around.
Yes.
I'm sure I recognize that actress from somewhere in contemporary times. But...
The voice actress, you mean?
Yeah. And I think the motion capture is capturing her image pretty well, but I can't identify who she is.
Seems irrelevant.
Why, you heathen, Cole.
I remember thinking that as I was playing it.
Presented to Mark.
Is that a Brokeback Mountain reference?
I genuinely don't know because I can't see what it is. Is it just a saddle?
Well, this is a movie maker's house, right? So it's probably related to some film.
Great Wall of Babylon. A replica of a replica.
This is fun.
Looks like the old movie set downtown.
Oh. They're definitely playing, like, I recognize what they're pastiching on here. Like, I've seen clips of those old movies where it's just like a giant Babylonian empire in the midst of an orgy or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm enjoying the bits and pieces they've scattered around. Also, there's a lot of chimes.
Yeah, I'm kind of ignoring them. I think this is one of the ones where it's like every piece of garbage is interactive.
Several of them are at least interesting.
Looks like a mermaid in the background. Silver screen.
Who are these men in the picture?
My husband, Mark, and Marlon Hopgood. They work together on occasion. That's Hopgood's shop.
Doesn't tell me anything. There's the set. Hollywood's own little piece of Babylon.
Okay. So this definitely is different investigation music than we had earlier.
Yeah, you're right.
I doubt it.
So, I don't know if it's different every single time. But...
You are vindicated.
So, presumably what we should be looking for is evidence identifying
those men.
People who are
I think
in
they
here.
work for Guy McCaffey. Do you know the name?
No. Why should I?
June Ballard is married to Guy McCaffey. Have you heard of her?
That slut. She's been badgering my husband for days.
Mrs. McCaffey alleges that your husband tried to kill her and her friend last night. I think you should tell us what you know.
My husband's a movie producer. This has something to do with his new picture. He doesn't include me in his business.
June Ballard said she had a deal to be in his new picture.
Mark repeatedly told her no. He had Joan Leslie lined up for the role. That's how he got the finance.
Now I feel like I'm
June
recognizing
made
her
all
voice
kinds
too.
of threats. She was very rude to me.
You know June Ballard?
We were both on the same picture a few years back. That's how I met my husband.
So it's two Hollywood.
Where can we
power
find your
families,
husband, ma'am?
Yep.
Bishop and
He told me
McCaffey.
he would be on set. That's all I know.
You are complicit in all of this, Gloria. You know what happens to these poor deluded kids, and you go along with it. I need to find your husband.
Why'd you come to Hollywood, detective? Handsome young man like you might find a little something in the movies. You've never thought about it?
No, I haven't.
Well, then you must be the only person in this burg who hasn't. We're born into temptation, detective.
What?
It's character that determines what we do about
What does that have anything to do with what you said?
Misdirection.
Your husband was at a casting yesterday with a young girl?
Not that I know of. He told me he was looking at locations. The picture's been cast.
These actresses are
The girl is named Jessica Hamilton. She was drugged. You should tell me what you know, Mrs. Bishop.
My husband is no saint, detective. He's going to have to atone for his own sins.
Ugh, I don't know. It's another case where, like, everything she says sounds like a lie because she's an actress.
Yeah.
Operator, give me R&I.
We didn't get much out of her, though, huh?
No.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need a location on a silver screen prop store.
Just a moment. Silver Screen Props, corner 3rd and Figueroa.
Thanks.
Now I guess we're tracing down the shrunken head.
Oh, okay. I was trying to figure out what a random prop store would have anything to do with anything else. Well,
we're nearing the conclusion of this video.
Alright.
An aging movie star, a wannabe starlet, a movie producer's wife. They're finally rubbing shoulders with the almost rich and famous.
From the stories they've given us, clearly none of them can act.
Well, we'll pick this up again in the next video.
Yeah.
What an exciting cliffhanger.
So here's a problem I'm having right now, is that I am having trouble telling everyone apart and remembering who's who. So the woman we just interrogated was
Bishop.
Was the wife of the woman who... Sorry, was the wife of the guy who the actress in the car said drugged her and put her in there.
Right.
Okay. And
Bishop is the accused. That was his wife we were just talking to.
Right.
But Ballard, the accuser, her husband's also a movie producer, and apparently we think that she's behind this roughhousing that just happened. So
and
both families are in a lot of trouble, it seems like.
Right. And somehow there's a young girl from Wisconsin wrapped up in all of it.
Yep.
Okay. Sorry, I was just having trouble keeping track. All right, let's move on.